Selamünaleyküm. Tipe bak böyle.
It appears we are almost ready to depart. It's a pity we didn't have a bit more time to spend on spellcasting. I presume you've been practicing the spells we worked on.
I have, Professor.
Well, I'm quite sure I've never seen anyone take so quickly to a second-hand wand. You'll be a force to be reckoned with when you get your own.
Thank you, Professor Fig. I appreciate you working with me.
Asa sahibini seçer.
Oh, Eleazar!
George, glad my rather cryptic description of our location did not thwart your finding us.
I've apparated to more vaguely defined destinations than this. Though I confess I may have miscalculated slightly on my first try. Gave quite the fright to some theatergoers in the West End.
Yazı boyutunu büyüteceğim birazdan.
When I received your owl, I must say I...
Best not speak here, Eleazar.
Of course. Why don't we speak en route to Hogwarts? We have a start-of-term feast and a sorting ceremony to get to.
Wonderful idea! As long as your young charge here doesn't mind me tagging along.
Not at all, sir.
After you.
Ages since I'd been to the castle. Would be good to see the old pile of rocks.
Ne oldu lan? Tribe girdi. Kamera şu müziğin oyunun sesini kısmam lazım. Kendimi duyamıyorum şu an. Atlıyorum. Dur atlamadım. Asiktir baykuşumuz da var lan.
And I caught you before you left for Scotland. Just barely.
And who is your traveling companion?
A new student.
New?
Yes, sir. I'm
Tabii
starting
efendim.
school as a fifth year.
Başlıyorum efendim.
How extraordinary. It is indeed. None of the faculty has ever heard of anyone being admitted to Hogwarts so late.
Evet biraz geç
Nor
başladım.
have I.
Of course, as the other fifth years will have been honing their magical skills for 4 years now, the headmaster asked if I could get our new student up to speed a bit before the
Hızlandırılmış
term
eğitim
begins.
tabi.
Well, you couldn't have asked for a better mentor. Professor Fig is not only an exceptional teacher, he's also a remarkably intuitive and gifted wizard.
Göreceğiz.
Mr. Osric is prone to flattery. I dare say it's one of the reasons he's risen so far at the ministry.
Have you seen this?
I have. Opinions differ as to how great a threat Ranrock really is.
Ranrock.
Although I've yet to convince my colleagues at the
O kim?
ministry, I believe he
Eyvah!
is a significant threat.
Ruh emiciler.
And it was your wife, Eleazar, who alerted me to his activities months ago.
Miriam? How?
She wrote to me about Ranrock before she died, wondering what the ministry knew about his activities. Before I could respond, I received this. It was the last thing she sent me, Eleazar. It came to me via her owl, but with no correspondence. I can only assume
That she had to get rid of it quickly to keep it safe.
presumably from Ranrock. I cannot open it. Whatever magic protects this is powerful
Allah
indeed.
Allah.
It looks like goblin metal. That symbol.
What's that glow?
I don't see a glow.
Allah Allah. Ben niye
Nor
görüyorum?
do I.
Ananı sikeyim açıldı.
Merlin's beard. How did you...
Wait! We do.
Falco değil mi lan bu? Ne oluyor kanka? Bu nasıl hızlı bir ilişki? Nereye bak? Akıyor okey. Aynen öyle bak. Oğlum yemin ederim. Bütün dersleri de biliyorum ha. Her büyü var. Ya bakayım bir oyunda da sincap olmasın ya. İyiyim. Biliyorum iyiyim.
Perhaps a bit.
Canım az. Bir pot içelim.
It's Wiggenweld potion. That stuff will right you in a second.
Okey. Oo, fulledi amına koyayım.
What happened?
Poor George. I can't believe he... What the hell got into that damn thing? Attacking a carriage mid-air? A typical dragon would never...
Professor?
İksirler, sen rahat ol unutmam.
Sir.
Kamerayı sol üstte mi alayım? Nereye koyayım kamerayı?
I'm not sure. But that key you discovered was clearly a port key.
Port key?
Anahtar port
An
key.
item enchanted to bring whoever touches it to a specific place.
Aha.
I'm feeling better, sir. If you'd like to look around a bit.
I would. But stay close. We've no idea who created this port key. Or why.
Sağ üst diyorsunuz ha. It's good. Tamam, sorunlu olursa DLSS kapatırım.
How far did that port key take us?
Farther from London than the carriage travelled. We're somewhere in the Scottish Highlands.
Sir, those
RTX mi?
ruins, do you
The
think...
port key was meant to lead us
Açık değil mi
there.
ya?
I do. This has not been the day either of us expected. But Miriam sent that port key to George for a reason. And I believe that she, and now George, died in pursuit of whatever it was meant to lead to. If you're sure you're all right and wouldn't mind indulging me, I'd like to have a look around.
Absolutely, sir.
Good. Let's see if we can find a path, however faded it may be.
Fikcim bir saniye. Hemen bir ayar yapıyorum. Ben siksem bir daha res atmam. Önce res alayım mı?
A good question. Miriam spent years searching for evidence of a long-forgotten form of ancient magic.
Ancient magic?
Yes, a powerful magic wielded by a rare few that seems to have been lost to time.
Böyle otomatik mi takip ediyor? Ha
Hogwarts
yok.
Castle was built by, and is itself a stronghold of that ancient magic. I don't know where she came into possession of the port key, but I am certain it was to do with that search. Ah, there's the path down below. This way.
Buyurun.
But sir, why was your wife searching for evidence of lost magic?
Miriam wanted to understand why such powerful magic disappeared from the wizarding world. Spoke of the good it could do. But magic is no different than any power. What really matters is the one who wields it.
Is that ice?
It's not cold enough here. It appears to be a sort of enchantment. Someone wanted to block this path.
Hemen büyüyü çözelim hocam.
Let's see some of that one work you were practicing. Focus on the center.
Tabii. Hemen yapıyorum. Tabii. Gizli, yasaklı büyü oğlum o. Hemen oyunculuk öğesine dokun. Tamam.
Excellent.
PS3'ten mi oynuyor beyler? Aktif bir hedef seçmek için kameranızı kullanın. Tamam kanks. Ya amını sikeyim. Kemal. Chat ayar yaptırdı bana. FPS'im 100'e düştü ya.
That was a bit rougher than I'd expected.
Oğlum çok zevkli, amını sikeyim.
Your one works improving with every card.
Bak şöyle atıyor ya büyüyor. Hayranım bak. Alttan atıyor bak. Alttan atıyor ya. Bitiyorum. Beni benden alıyor ya. Expelliarmus!
Ah, up there.
Ne oldu lan? Oğlum oraya gittik, niye
We're
döndük?
close now. It's
Dur
just
kanka dur
ahead.
burada bir şeyler var, kesin burada bir şeyler var. Bak. Hiçbir sikim olmadı ama. Tamam. O şey dinle.
Steady yourself.
Tamam.
Reparo.
Ustam şifa buldu. Şifa köprüyü amına koyayım. Şimdi bu benim Dumbledore'um mu?
Almost there.
Expelliarmus!
Someone built this here.
I
Dude.
suspect they valued their privacy. That portkey led us here for a reason. Let's have a look around for anything that seems out of place.
Minarete siz ortada olmak üzere çevrenizi tamam. Tamam.
Professor, it's a mural of some kind.
Perhaps our host was a noted seer. Interesting.
Bakalım etrafa. Tamam. Şuradan bir gidiş var sanki. Hocam.
Professor, this statue.
This may have been his home.
Tamam.
That enchanted crystallized stone again. But what could it be blocking?
Bunu ben çözebiliyorum ama.
What's this? Professor Fig!
Aa! Dur dur, büyü seker dur.
How odd. Why would someone have conjured that enchanted stone here?
And how is there a room behind it?
What room? I don't see anything.
There's that glow again, like the glow on the portkey container.
What in Merlin's name? Godric's heart.
Where are we?
I don't believe it.
Aa! Oraya girdik lan. Aa, bankaya geldik. Goblinlerin bankası.
Hello?
Bankacı Goblin. Gringos aynen.
It can't be.
Harry Potter.
Just a moment. Ooh.
Jorge Jesus.
Welcome to Gringotts Wizarding Bank. Vault number 12, I presume.
Doğru 12.
The key?
Your wife's portkey.
Oh, yes, of course. This way, then. Stay close.
Fik tedirgin.
After you.
Buyurun. Kasamıza gidiyoruz abi, bir şey yok.
Hands inside the carts if you don't wish to lose them.
Hadi bakalım.
How many vaults are there in Gringotts?
Hundreds. In fact, you'll see quite a few on our way to vault number 12. As we speak, we're just beneath the main lobby. The vaults you see now are the newest.
Are private entrances to the bank common at Gringotts?
They are most uncommon. Only one with great wealth or power, or both, could have arranged for such a service.
Ne güzel gidiyoruz lan.
You'll want to take a breath.
A what? That waterfall washes away all enchantments. It's a security measure.
Hocam biliyoruz hocam.
Experienced the
İzledik.
thief's downfall before, have you?
Heard of it?
These are the lower vaults that we're passing now.
How deep are we going?
Vault number 12 was commissioned shortly after Gringotts was founded over 4 centuries ago. It resides in the deepest part of the bank. Settle in. We've quite a distance to go.
İzbana binince hissettiğim.
Vault number
12.
Vault 12. Momentous day.
on your way.
Aha, elinde bir büyü var. Onun bir şey olmuş ona. Biri büyü yapmış ona. Kaptanlık pazubandı var amına koyayım.
Professor,
Çözdü.
the card was wearing was glowing.
Like the glue you saw on the portkey container.
No, darker. I saw that same glow on the dragon's collar.
Aha bak.
Yeah, what was that? We were just wondering about that goblin back there.
He watches over the oldest section of the bank. Rare anyone goes there anymore.
Bir ibnelik var orada.
Here we are. When was the last time this vault was accessed?
A goblin has been stationed at my desk for hundreds of years. In that time, no one has visited Vault 12 until today.
Sandık mı var?
Vault 12.
Thank you for your help.
Abi bana kamerayı oraya koy dediler ama. Kral Alp.
What do you suppose we should be looking for?
I'm not sure. Sir, I wonder if you
The
might...
instructions for Vault 12 indicate that I am to grant access to the holder of the key and then close the door.
Nasıl yani ya?
Best of luck.
Amını sikeyim, bunu dışarıdayken niye söylemiyorsun bize?
That was certainly unexpected. Let me think. There must be something here.
Tamam, bankanın müşteri hizmetlerini arayalım.
Revelio, perhaps?
Revelio?
Yes, a revealing charm. No time like the present. Let's see what we're missing, shall we? Ready your wand and focus.
Bu ne ya? Büyü öğrenmek için asanızı mouse ile sabitleyin ve sembolün yolu boyunca yönlendirin. Asan sembol yolundaki hareketini hızlandırmanız istendiğinde ilgili girişe basın. Bir dakika, tamam, anladım.
Revelio. There, I saw something.
Move a bit closer and try again.
Tamam hocam. Revelio.
A door.
Well, that's a start.
Hocam bir kapı.
There's that symbol again. I don't suppose you see a way to...
I do, Professor. That symbol has the same glow as the one I saw on the port key container.
If what you can see reveals the way forward, then I dare say we are about to discover the
Revelio.
secret of this vault.
Pardon hocam.
Lead the way. Lumos! This is no ordinary vault. I suspect we will need to earn our way out of here.
What do you mean, earn our way out? Do you think this is some sort of test?
Lumos.
I do. But to what end, I can't say.
Revelio.
Stay close. There will be no disapparating if things go poorly. Not out of Gringotts.
Revelio.
I see something up ahead.
What is it?
That glow again, but on the floor.
Lumos!
Ne oluyor lan?
What happened?
When I moved towards the glow, it suddenly seemed as if the ground was swirling about.
Ben de Revelio büyüsü
Are
yaptım
you all
hocam.
right?
Yes, sir, I'm fine.
You seem to have caused the floor to
Bir
change.
Tom Riddle ses tonu yok mu bende?
That statue.
What statue?
Aa, ben
I see
görüyorum.
some sort of statue, but only as a reflection in the floor. Revelio.
I presume this is what you saw reflected in the floor.
It is. The reflection's still there, but the statue's positions don't match. Wait. When you moved, the reflection turned in the direction of the light.
Perhaps you should cast Lumos.
Hocam hemen Lumos'u öğreniyoruz. Tabii Lumos olduğu için kolay. Alt tarafı ışık yakıyorsun yani. Büyü sesi olacak her şey Lumos. Tamam, biliyoruz Lumos'un ne olduğunu.
Lumos.
Well done.
Now the reflection is turning towards me. It does follow the light.
Bak, beni takip ediyor ha. Kapattım Lumos'u. Bak, Lumos. Lumos. Aha. What the fuck, what the fuck?
Look out!
Protego!
Protego!
Amına koyayım, ben bu büyüyü öğrenmedim ama. Hocam. Var, bende de var. Septum Sempra. Expelliarmus. Lumos. Allah. Protego. Expelliarmus. İleriye giden yolu ortaya çıkarmak için hedeflerinizi inceleyin. Nasıl inceleyin? Savaştayım ya. Ama hocam. Protego. Bastım ama ben bastım. Ya böyle sikerler işte. Kolaydı hocam. Ananı. Lumos. Aa! Canıma bakmadım, canıma. Olur. Zorda oynuyoruz. Fokusum. Böyle protego tuşum. Gel, bir tane damage yemiyorum, izle. Full fokusum çünkü şu an. Lumos.
Stay close.
Hocam.
Professor! Professor Fig! Professor, where are you? This isn't good. Where am I supposed to go?
Yani bu döller buraya gidiyor.
What's happening? The wisps of magic seem to be leading me somewhere. Ah, that's where they're leading me. That glow again.
Revelio.
Revelio. I suppose I'm on my own this time. To align these statues with their reflections.
Ha, yansımalarıyla hizalamam gerekiyor. Okey.
I need to get them all to stand at once. It seems I have no choice. I'm going to have to fight my way out of here.
Ananı sikerim. Tamam, sakin, fokusuz. Protego. Protego. Expelliarmus. Protego. Lumos.
Lumos.
Unexpected Lumos. Düşmanları bir stupefy. Karşı saldırısıyla sersemletmek için Protego sırasında Q'ya basılı tutun. Sersemlemiş düşmanlar ekstra hasar altın sayılarla... Nice. Hocam 10 numara. Olmadı. Niye? Ha. Stupefy. Ananı avradını. O ne? Kanka. Bir dakika. Bir saniye bir şey söyleyeceğim. Ben 3 botu da harcadım az önce. Stupefy. Aa! Lumos. Okey. Az önce 3 tane pot harcadım. Meğersem G'ye basınca tık tık tık içiyormuş.
Revelio. Lumos.
Diyorsun. Sevdim oyunu ha. Ay. Şans suyu.
There you are. How did you... What is this place?
I don't know.
Sıvı şans. Şans suyu ne amına koyayım.
Basin.
That is no mere basin. That is a pensive.
Düşünseli.
Memories.
Tabi.
I wonder. Follow my lead.
All is in place.
The portkey is well hidden.
Perhaps too well. I wonder if the path we've created...
May be impossible to follow. It will only be impossible for one who cannot see traces of ancient magic as I can.
Your ability to see what others cannot will not be enough, Percival. We are entrusting the one who embarks on this path with powerful secrets, with knowledge others will do anything to obtain.
Yes, and if we are correct, Charles, the ritual wizard who completes the trials will have proven themselves worthy of that knowledge, and the responsibility that accompanies it.
We've done all that we can.
That's what you're seeing. The glow that surrounded them.
Yes, sir.
Astonishing.
Can I see magic?
Traces of an ancient magic, to be precise. The magic that Miriam had always believed existed, but could never. Miriam, and perhaps George, died in pursuit of knowledge that has been dormant for centuries. And you, it seems, are the key to understanding why. We were...
It all looks rather different than it did a moment ago.
Someone's coming.
Who were they?
I don't know. But, sir, you shouldn't be in here.
I was
Ranrock.
right.
Ranrock.
Seems my reputation precedes me. I was beginning to think no one was ever going to visit Rackham's vault.
And why are you here?
No need for that. Just give me whatever it is you found here and we can let bygones be bygones.
Sir, they have the key to the vault.
Choose your next words wisely.
I only meant that the instructions to Vault 12 were quite clear. Sir, I must insist. I was to grant access only to one with the key, and you didn't have it.
Whoa.
I have no patience for traitors. Now, where were we?
I'm not giving you anything.
Well, perhaps your young friend here will be more helpful.
Eyvah. Ha, büyülüydü bu mekan. Bu kim? Atrox geldi amına koyayım. Pig hocam biz kaçalım hocam. Hogwarts'a dönelim, okulumuza dönelim. Daha benim ilk senem hocam. Amına koyayım, Lumos'u daha yeni öğrendim. Alo. Hocam ucuz kurtardık.
Are you all right?
Fine, sir.
I've never seen so powerful a goblin. He seemed wholly unaffected by my magic.
Where are we?
It can't be. It seems those who set up the pensive, the locket, and the path to both wanted someone with your ability to end up here. Come. We have a sorting ceremony to get to.
Aha, seçme töreni. O siktir, ha siktir. Çok güzel. Tüyler kalkık. Yıllardır beklediğimiz oyun. Ya inşallah bu oyunun serverları falan da olur ya. Ya bu oyunda RP yapmak harbi eğlenceli olabilir.
Missed the sorting ceremony. I'm no expert, but that seems more appropriate.
Teşekkür ederim hocam.
I need to study this locket as soon as I can, but first I must contact the ministry. They need to know what happened to George and be warned of Ranrock. For the moment, I ask that you keep all that's happened this evening
between you and me.
Of course, sir.
Thank you.
Ya okulun ilk gününden
Ready for the
sorumluluğa
sorting
bak.
ceremony?
Aha. Seçmen şapka. Hocam bizim bu kim? Aref mi giriyor derslere?
Phineas Nigellus Black.
Aha, Black.
Prepare yourself to meet
The headmaster.
Fig, nice of you to join us. The sorting ceremony's over.
There were complications.
Complications?
It seems the goblin problem has...
Enough. Goblins. I've no time for rumors, Fig, and I'm rapidly losing whatever patience I had left. If you're lucky, we might still be able to get you sorted this evening.
I'll be in touch.
Aa, Harry Potter mı lan o? Ne yapıyor lan sik?
Professor Weasley, we've one more to be sorted.
Evet hocam. Merhabalar.
Welcome. You're just in time.
Tabii, oturayım.
Have a seat.
Ay, çok heyecanlıyım. Seçmen şapka. Slytherin seçmezsen senin belanı sikerim bak.
Ah, yes. A bit older than the
Olur,
others,
olur. Geç
aren't
başlattı.
you?
Okula geç gönderdiler beni.
You come here with preferences and preconceptions.
Tabii, Slytherin istiyorum.
Certain expectations.
Derslere başlamak için sabırsızlanıyorum. Keşfetmek için
I'm
sabırsızlanıyorum.
looking
Ders.
forward to exploring Hogwarts and the world beyond the castle and grounds.
Evet hocam.
Indeed. Much can be gleaned by having an adventurous spirit.
Tabii.
But your professors have a great deal to teach you as well.
Mikrofon algılıyor mu? I want Slytherin. Thank you.
I detect something in you. A certain
Çatal değil,
sense
çatal değil.
of- What is it?
Cesur, merak, sadakat, hırs. Hırs seçmem lazım galiba, değil mi? Evet. Hırs yani Slytherin. Hırs hocam.
Is it ambition? I may seem single-minded, but it is important to go after what you want from life.
Interesting.
Azim, you know?
I recently learned that you possess a rare ability. I detect a
Az
growing
önce-
sense of ambition, an eagerness for power.
Abi bir saat önce bir sürü yaratık öldürdüm.
Perhaps you belong in
Evet.
Slytherin.
Yes. Ha, farklı bir şey de seçebiliyormuşum. Tamam, Slytheriniz hocam.
You belong in Slytherin.
Gözlerime de tam uydu hocam. Oo. Güzel kızlar da var Slytherin'de.
Oh,
Tabii.
and one more thing.
Çemiye,
Due to the unfortunate
teşekkür ederim.
injury on the pitch in last spring's final, this year's Quidditch season has
Tabii.
been cancelled. Enough! It's not as though I've banned flying altogether, but don't tempt me.
Oğlum oyun bu
You
oyun.
are here
Aşkım
to
oyun bu
focus
ya.
on your academic futures. I'm sure you will have plenty to do before classes begin tomorrow.
Hadi gidelim bir vola atalım.
I said, I'm sure you all have plenty to do before classes begin tomorrow.
Tabii.
Quite an entrance. It's lovely to meet you. I'm...
Professor Weasley, would you be so kind as to show our new student to their common room?
I shall see to it, sir. As I was saying, I'm Professor Weasley. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Professor.
As Deputy Headmistress, it is my distinct honor to show you to your common room.
Hemen gidelim.
Right this way.
Bu Weasley'ler hep tatlı ya. Ben sınıfı kafalayacağım. Çıkışta CS'ye gideceğiz.
It's quite uncommon for a student to begin as a fifth year. It may be a bit of a challenge, but one I'm sure you're up for.
I can be quite resourceful.
I suspected as much. This is the entrance to the Slytherin common room. In order to enter, one must simply speak the correct password. Aspiration.
Aspiration.
Very well.
Aspirasyon.
Aspiration.
Aspirasyon.
Well done. Now, go on in and get some sleep. You have a big day ahead of you tomorrow. I shall be back in the morning to collect you for your first class.
Hocam bizzat öğrencileri odasından mı alıyorsunuz?
I hope you enjoy your first night
Ben
at
gelirdim.
Hogwarts. Sleep well.
Eyvallah. Sabah oldu. Aynen öyle Dubspitex. Harry Potter ince çizgimiz.
Looks like everyone's gone. Better head to the common room.
Bakalım ya. Odamız. Yatağımız. Çok iyi. Çok iyi abi. Bilgisayar yok mu abi? Bu neymiş? Elma. Bir tane elma alalım. İki attım elmaya. Tamam.
I suppose some introductions are in order.
Kendinizi Imelda'ya tanıtın, Ominis'e tanıtın, Sebastian'a. Okey, tamam, tanışalım.
Already knew that.
Ne haber lan?
Can I help you?
Amına ol Sebastian.
Ah,
sen yeni 5.
you're the new
sınıfsın.
fifth year. I'm Sebastian Sallow. Welcome to Slytherin.
Merhaba.
Thank you.
FERİT
Not everyone
Blackrock.
has a ministry escort to school.
He was a friend of Professor Fig's who merely joined us for the ride.
Still, impressive. Dreadful way to go, poor fellow.
Orospu çocuğu ya
All
Fig.
right.
Siliteriniz ya. Heyecan vericiydi.
It was dreadful, certainly, but quite an experience nonetheless.
Interesting perspective. How did you and Fig manage to escape?
It's all still a bit of a blur, to be honest.
Didn't mean to press. You just get yourself settled. We can talk more later.
Tanıştığıma çok memnun oldum bro. Kendine çok iyi bak.
It
Ne
was nice
okuduğun
meeting you,
sikimde değil.
Sebastian. I'll let you get back to your book.
Nice meeting you too. Good luck
Eyvallah,
today.
kötü günler. Aa, bu ne?
It's a good thing the owlery is away from the rest of the school. Quite the aroma in there. Have you ever wondered how
Siktir,
owls
neler yapıyorlar ya.
magic, I suppose. My little brother sends me letters chock full about Hogwarts.
Çok iyi.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Lumos.
Lumos.
Ben de birkaç tane büyü yapayım da şey gözükmeyeyim diye yaptım.
Might want to think that again.
Kızlara biraz şov yapalım. Rebelio! Bununla kötülerle kapıştık. Digle hocamla.
Not going to move there, are you?
Here, watch this.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Checkmate.
Told you.
Melda, LoL diye bir oyun biliyorum. Gel bunun daha iyisi.
You should have listened to me. Ah, I know who you are. you're the new Slytherin, the one who barged in
Doğru.
with Professor Fig last night. Interesting tactic on your first day, taking all the attention away from the first years. I'm Imelda, by the way. Shame I wasn't with you in Fig. I could have lured that dragon away. My skills on a broom are legendary.
Allah Allah, bir süpürge üzerinde. Görmek isterim. Keşke orada olsaydın. Keşke orada olsaydın.
Perhaps Professor Fig's friend would have survived if we'd had your help.
Precisely. Perhaps one of these days I'll show you a thing or two about flying. I can teach you more than Kagawa ever could. Speaking of which, I'd like to get in some time on my broom before classes.
Tabii beraber. Çok uçar mısın?
Do you have a lot of time to fly during school?
I make the time. There's nothing like swerving through the spires of the castle and around the Quidditch pitch to clear the mind.
Çok iyi. Kendine çok iyi bakıyorsun
Goodbye,
Imelda.
Imelda.
Nice meeting you.
Görüşürüz. Aa işte bu benim kankam ya. Bu büyük orospu çocuğu gibi gözüküyor. Bu benim kankam. Ominis. Selamünaleyküm piç.
I think I heard one.
Bugün ne piçlik yapalım?
Doubt mermaids find us that interesting. Ah, based on
Senin
all the
gözüne
chat
ne
when
oldu
you
lan?
entered the common
Görmüyor
room,
mu?
I'm guessing you're the new 5th year. I'm Ominous. Ominous Gaunt.
Nice to meet you, Ominous.
Well, you certainly had a memorable arrival.
Unutulmaz. Daha çok ürkütücü.
I'd much rather have arrived on time and without a dragon attack en route.
I'm sure. How horrible. I can only imagine. Well, it's good to have you in Slytherin. Do let me know if I can be of any help as you navigate your first days here.
Nerede ya bu deniz kızları?
He thought he heard a mermaid.
Yes, but I've never heard of a mermaid showing up outside our common room window. It is fun to play along, though. Been known to keep some first years on the lookout for hours.
Tamam. Teşekkürler. Balık burcuydum o yüzden sordum.
Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure was all mine. Don't be a stranger.
Sende bir ilginçlik var ama Ominis.
Fifth year Slytherin in here. Professor Weasley's waiting for you just by the stairs.
Buradayım. Benim.
Lumos.
Gauntlar Voldemort'un ailesi mi? Harbi mi diyorsun lan? Ama belliydi ya onda bir şey olduğu.
Good morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a fifth year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind.
Çoğunu biliyorum ama.
Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWLs? Owls?
Yes, your ordinary wizarding level exams. They will determine what type of career you can have when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success. Here you are.
Ne oluyor abi?
What is it?
It is a wizard's field guide. It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a fifth year. You would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Kitap takip mi ediyor?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test.
Parşömen topladıkça ödül veriyor. Okey. Hocam burada bir kasa var. Ne yapıyorsunuz lan burada?
I certainly would have appreciated the guide when I was a student. Using the guide will also train you to be alert to your surroundings.
Hocam.
Lumos.
Yasaklı büyüleri ne zaman öğreneceğiz?
The guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore. Do keep up. Why don't you cast Revelio on that statue and see what details the guide can provide?
Kelpi heykeli. Koloslar. Bu heykeller bir sonra şimdiye kadar büyük kelpi. Çok güzel bilgiler. Mücadelenin kilidi açıldı. Meydan okumaları tamamlama yönündekileriniz burada görünür. Tamam. Tamam. Tamam. Çok iyi. Tesisat görünümü ödülü. Hogwarts kıyafet gözlükleri. Gözlük kullanmıyorum abi. Teşekkürler. Amına kodumun çocuğu.
Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that, inside and outside of the castle.
Lumos. Hafif ışık yetersizdi hocam burada. Buyurun. Gözü olan sandıkları görünmez gidince açılıyor. Item'ım yok ki oğlum benim.
Good timing.
Bir dakika.
Perfect opportunity to show you how to use flue flames to get around a bit quicker. Your field guide
Gözlük güç mü veriyor gerçekten?
Open it up and find Central Hall.
Kütüphanenin ek bölgesi. Burası mı? Teleport mu olduk lan?
And here we are.
Harbi teleport olduk.
These stairs
Hocam
lead
bir saniye.
directly to Central Hall.
Beni bir salın ya. Hah. O şeye item inventory'e nasıl gireceğim? Chat. Hah buradan galiba. Meydan okumalardaydık. Şuraya girdik. Buradan bunu alacaktık. Ha bunu 2 yapınca alabiliyorum. Tamam. Envanter. Hiçbir sikimim yok. Teçhizat. Eldiven. Aha. Böyle bir özellikleri yoktur. Maske. Büyülü özel. Chat hani vardı? Ya amına koyayım. Tamam daha olacak ileride. Devam. Bu ne? Tamam burada görevler var. Okey devam.
You can get almost anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall.
Merkez salon burası.
Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive. Our King's Cross station, so to speak. That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both charms and defense against the dark arts.
Güzel dersleri sevdim.
And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
Hocam çok teşekkür ediyorum. Kendinize çok iyi bakıyorsunuz.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
Tabii var.
Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival.
Tamam.
Specifically about what happened after that.
Neydi doğru sordu?
I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it.
Sır kaldı aramızda.
Almost precisely what Professor Fig said.
Aynen öyle.
Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today.
Arkadaşlar çeviri AI yaptığı için böyle çeviri.
It will be invaluable.
Bence iyi bile yani.
And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Hocam beni bir salın artık ya.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
Tamam. Hadi hocam beni bir salın artık.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you masterfully evade Professor Weasley's interrogation regarding our late arrival?
Evet, hoşlanmadım
I did
hocam.
try to evade her questions, though I feel a little deceptive. That said, I'm fairly certain she suspects that we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
Kim, ney? Hangi büyü? Aa, Leviosa. Akıyor. Leviosa'ya gidelim. Görevi izle hocam.
The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to...
Hocam eyvallah, sağ olasın. Biraz fazla boş yaptım. Revelio. Bak gördün mü?
Lumos.
Faruk Eczanesi. Kanka bu ne amına koyayım? ...32... ...17... ...3, 6, 9, 10 tane var. İki tane mi var?
Revelio.
Tamam, bunu salıyorum. Bak şurada da bir şeyler var ha. Ama bunları yapamıyorum ya çoğunu.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Dur bunlar yan quest. Dur şu ana quest'e bir devam edeyim ya. Nasıl açıyorum bunu? Siktir. Revelio. Lumos.
Lumos.
Üf, nasıl koşuyorum bak. Dur şu main görevleri bir halledeyim, onları yaparız. Fero Potter, rica etsem çeviriyi nereden yaptığınızı söyler misiniz yayınlar? Google'a yazın. Hogwarts Legacy Türkçe'ye ama yazın. Donanım haber var. Forum donanım haberde. Oradaki şeyden yaptım. Linkten yaptım.
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces in your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the great poacher raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso?
Wingardium Leviosa.
Levitation charm?
Levioso.
A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned.
Wingardium Leviosa evet farklıydı galiba. Bu ne kadar sıkı bir şey olmuş ya. Bu nasıl bir skill öğrenme şeyi oğlum?
Levioso.
Hocam gördüğünüz gibi tek attım. Bu ezikler hala yapmaya çalışıyor.
Now, let's try something a little larger.
Tabii. Tabii hocam. Bunlar ne ki? Biz nelerle savaştık hocam ya? Gel bakayım.
Let us begin with a basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprised opponent is a weak opponent. As Master Pruitt.
Levioso.
Good. Now, well done.
Hocam anasını siktim.
Very good. But the best way to practice is by duel.
Hemen vs atalım.
We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Bana Gryffindor verseniz hocam.
Now, I want a fair duel using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego.
Protego, okay.
You may begin.
This should be easy.
Protego.
Protego.
Levioso.
Lucky.
Nothing lucky about it.
Ne oldu oğlum? Mındar oldun. Oh!
You're good. Levioso.
Oğlumun çocuğu seni ha. Hocam aşağı attım. Teşekkürler, teşekkürler hocam.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
Bir sorum daha olacak. Bu Yama Hogwarts Legacy dijital lüks sürüm içinde geçerli mi? Hepsi için geçerli abi. Fark etmiyor. Eflin Çağsu'cum teşekkür ederim. Hoş geldin.
Thank you, Professor Hackett. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it.
Tabii.
A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right. That's enough spectacle for one day.
Biraz fazla mı konuşuyor artık acaba? Şeyler, hocalar. Ne yapıyorsun lan Sebastian?
I enjoyed that. Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good
practice. Nasıl siktim ama seni?
Practice? Felt more like I was dueling an expert.
Estağfurullah
Didn't
kardeşim.
expect a new student to be so deft with
Eyvallah,
a wand.
eyvallah.
Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
Aynen.
I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back.
Huh, fair enough. You owe me an honest duel when you aren't. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Oo, pit fight. Kulağa ilginç geliyor.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules.
Tabii canım, Slytherin'deyiz yani.
Whether it's joining a secret dueling club or sneaking into the restricted section of the library.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good.
Hoca geldi.
Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Sonra.
Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned.
Oğlum hoca var.
We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck
Hoca arkamda.
or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance. If you're interested. Till next time.
Duydu amına koyayım. Bak bakıyor. Revelio amına koyayım. Burada kesin bir şeyler vardır dur. Ne yapıyorsun lan?
Oh, I'm not much for dueling. I prefer to keep things friendly.
Neyse sen Gryffindor mu? Ezix.
If you know the right spells, it's dark wizards that'll fear you, not the other way around.
Revelio.
Going to harvest some knotgrass from the greenhouses today. Did you know that its use in
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented flu powder.
Bir bilgisayar kasmaya mı başladı acaba ya? FPS'imiz bir bayağı düştü çünkü. Niye böyle oldu? Kalabalık yere geldik galiba o yüzden. Ana! Ne yapıyorsun küçük? Küçük kedicik. Küçük kedicik. Sevimli kedicik. Revelio.
Revelio.
Abi bu ayarları ben kendim yapabilir miyim? Chat müsaadenizle. Nüfus kalitesi ne ya? Ne oldu? Çözünürlüğü sikiyor böyle ya. Dur bakayım ne oldu? Yani yarro bir görüntü oldu sanki ya. Çok kötü oldu ya. Bir daha başlatmam lazım. Sadece kalite modunda iyi. DLSS tamam. Kalite modunu alalım. Bakalım. Bence okey gibi. Akarı var. FPS'imiz de iyi oldu hem. Ne kaçırdım? Bir şey yok, öyle sağ sol okulun ilk günü. Dersten derse koşuyoruz.
Here, behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you
Kız bana
are the new
yazıyor.
student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to year 5 of charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work. But I am confident that we will take hold with a passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms?
Hocam biri renk değiştiriyor, diğeri fiziksel bir büyüme sağlıyor.
I am afraid it is too late to study now.
Ama ben geç.
My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning?
Akıyor. Akıyor hocam, akıyor.
Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom.
Tabii.
Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
Akio.
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner.
Teşekkür ederim hocam.
I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here.
Hadi bakalım Onay.
Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as
Kim
you all
hocam
seem to
ders?
have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me.
Akıyor. İlk dersimiz Levioso. İkinci dersimiz akıyor. Öğrendik hocam.
I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test?
Tabii. Akıyor süpürge.
So why don't we have our newest student start us off?
Bu hocamız Hindistanlı mı acaba? Evet. Ne yapıyorum hocam?
Very simply, cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm at the last possible moment. Now, think of this like gobstones, if you will. But instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them. Excellent. Good. Not to worry.
Anladım hocam.
Splendid.
Tamam, bu 50 geliyor hocam. Hazır mıyız?
That's it.
Çabuk öğrenelim. Çabuk öğrenelim hocam.
Very good.
Lumos.
Points to Slytherin. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly
Kesinlikle.
competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge?
Tabii.
Come on up. You'll be the blues just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Tamam. Hadi bakalım Onay. Gel amına koyayım. Buyurun. Gryffindor amına koyayım. Tamam gel.
Accio.
Don't lose your composure.
Here we go.
Hocam hile bu, arkasını dönüp arkasını döndü ya.
There we go.
Oğlum benim niye bu kadar çok hızlı geliyor? Tamam 50, hadi bakalım amına koyayım. 50 50 100, ben 50'yim. Oğlum 10 yapsa beni geçti zaten ya. Otuz.
That is how it's done.
Accio.
Dur.
Quite impressive.
Ya tamam da 100 geçtin ama ya. Ya of. 12'ne mi çarptır? Aa!
Let us make
Bak
this
abi
a bit
Slytherin'im
more
ben, böyle
interesting,
pişikler
shall we?
düşünmem lazım ya. Bir daha hocam, hocam ne olur. Gel.
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This
Hadi gel.
round settles it all.
Hadi gel. Bak o yavaş çekiyor, görüyor musun? Aa dışarı gitti. Aa. Ha za.
Accio.
Splendid.
Oyna.
Watch this.
Gryffindorlu lameller sizi. Tamam. Dur.
Well done.
Here we go.
Hocam.
Yes.
Ağır tilt oldum ya. Dur şimdi bak ne yapıyorum ben ona. Dur! Ne olur dur kanka. Tamam kazandım sıkıntı yok. Final. Boy 3.
Very good, both of you. Well done.
Kazandım ki.
Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way
Kız
out.
piçkelik yaptı bize bu arada. Gryffindor'a yakışmıyor yani.
Good game back there. I must admit.
Estağfurullah. Sen asıl ben seni hafife aldım. Ben özür dilerim.
Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
Kendimi tutuyorum derken? Kendimi tutuyorum.
Thank you, but I've been holding my own.
I appreciate your confidence. I transferred here from Wagadu just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
Çok iyi. Tanıştığıma çok memnun oldum. Kendine çok iyi bakıyorsun.
It's been nice talking and competing.
5'li 48. ay kutlu olsun. Çok teşekkürler.
I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep
Görüşürüz. Çok teşekkür ederim. Çok sağ ol. Kendine iyi bak.
Of course, you can use Accio on humans.
A word, if you would.
If you're so inclined.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? You did well, managing to best as gifted a student as Miss Onai.
Thank you, Professor. I enjoyed the match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment.
Tabii hocam. Görüşürüz. Kendinize iyi bakın hocam.
Revelio.
Ne yapıyorsun kız?
After my brother learned the summoning charm, it was constant Accio this, Accio that, cutlery flying everywhere. Quite unsafe.
Çok iyi. Accio çatal, Accio bıçak. Şş, uyuma lan.
Professor Ronan reminds me of my grandfather. Loads of wisdom, but a bit mad.
Bu ne oğlum? Zeon'a benziyor lan çocuk.
Revelio.
Tamam. Üst katta bir şey mi var? Seviye 1 kilidi diyor.
Hello there. You're the new student, aren't you?
Evet benim Samantacığım.
Hello. You wanted to speak to me?
Samantha Dale. I've been eager to meet you. You're the student everyone's been whispering about. Hope your first day is going well. You certainly seem to hold your own in charms.
Çok naziksin.
I've been fortunate. Beginner's luck.
My brother William would tell you not to be so humble and to trust your abilities. Then again, he tends to be overconfident in his. Well, better see to my charms homework. I'm afraid I can't count on beginner's luck to impress Professor Ronan.
Hemen öğreteyim sana. Accio.
Accio. Levioso. Lumos.
Speaking of astronomy, I'm surprised you're not fixated on Venus. The amount of time you spent talking about a meet to come.
What are you up to
And then
now?
the werewolves joined the goblins in the uprising.
Werewolves, where were you? In the Goblin Rebellion of 1752.
And by the end of it, the Minister for Magic was Albert Boot.
No, it wasn't.
Ne oluyor abi burada?
I won't say my goodbyes. I shall cheer for the boy
Revelio.
who says you're telling
I'm
lies.
not telling lies, Peeves. It was Albert Boot.
No, it wasn't. It was Basil Flack.
Ooh, fight! It's a bold attack. Was the Minister a boot or the Minister a flack?
Stop it, Peeves. You'll get us in trouble.
In trouble you will be, but you can't get Peeves a smack. She says it's a boot and he says it's a flack.
Peeves, enough. You'll get us all detention. And you're both wrong anyway. It was Hephaestus Gore.
It wasn't boots and it wasn't flack, but you're
Hiç kim anlamadım ya şu puzzle'dan. Okey, map'i açalım, map'ten gidelim. Şimdi hocam, dersten sonra Weasley. Şu yan görevleri yapayım mı şimdiden? Her resim sayıyı belirtiyor. Ha. Okey, yani bu 2 ise burada 4 mü olması lazım gibi. 4 ne? 3 gözlü şey gibi mi? Bu. Bir soldan başlıyor 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 diye. Aha! Siktir. Yalandan cam göbeği, Çin ateşi, topu, eşarp. O neymiş amına koyayım? Tamam.
Revelio.
Bura bu kadar. Tamam, şu inventörüme bakalım. Ne aldık biz? Atkı aldık. Oo. Slotlu atkı hem de ha. Tamam, ben bir şey daha aldım ya. Onu... Ne aldım ben? Almadım mı? Tamam. Haritaya geldik. Ha dur, meydan okumalarda bir şey vardı. Ödül talebi. Tamam. Ben bir ödül aldım. Whatever. Eldiven geldi. Niye göstermiyor eldiveni? Ha, görünüm. Okey tamam. Görünüşünü değiştir deyip böyle yapabiliyorum. Tamam. Anladım. Harika.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Itemları göremiyoruz. Cam yerini değiştirir misin? Ama nereye koysam başka bir şey göremeyeceksiniz. Bakayım. Görüyorsunuz işte. Görüyorsunuz. Harita. Devam. Main göreve devam hocam. Şuraya bir seyahat edelim ya. Oradan oraya daha kısa. Middle Finger Senpai 24. ayın kutlu olsun. Çok teşekkürler. Burada FPS düşüyor. Buna yapacak bir şey yok ya. Şöyle. Ho! Şurada.
Revelio.
Yanlış gidiyorum. Güzel. Avlunu açtık. Okay.
Revelio. Lumos.
Isıracak. Sevdi.
Revelio.
Ne oluyor burada? Hocam şunu açalım.
Off on
Tamam.
another adventure, are we?
What about the room, Professor?
I was thinking the same thing, Deke. Perhaps you could help.
Oh, excuse, Deke.
Ah, there you are.
Pelerin de çok iyi diyorsun.
I trust
Tamam,
your first
bakacağım
classes
pelerin
went well?
görünümüne.
They did, Professor.
I heard as much from Professors Hecat and Ronan. Seems Professor Fig taught you quite a bit before you arrived. I'd wager there's a good deal more to your travels here than what you've told me.
Bak ağzından laf almaya çalışıyor hala.
I see. Like trying to get a sonnet from a streeler. Regardless, you must continue to build upon what you've learned.
Oğlum söz
In
verdik
that
adama,
regard,
söylemeyeceğiz.
I've asked your professors to help hasten your progress with some extra assignments.
Professor Ronan did mention something about that.
In fact, Professor Ronan will meet you outside momentarily to assign your first one. Now, regarding the trip to Hogsmeade I mentioned earlier, we've arranged to replace the supplies lost on your way here, including seeds, potion recipes, and spellcrafts.
Thank you, Professor.
And Mr. Ollivander will connect you with the perfect wand.
Super.
You've managed your classes well with a borrowed wand, but you'll find the magic you cast with your own wand to be far superior.
Gitmeye hazırım hocam.
I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade.
Very well. I'd like you to make your first visit to the village with a classmate. Help you get your bearings. Perhaps Sebastian Sallow or Natsai Onai. I've noticed you spending time with them.
Hocam siz de her şeyi görüyorsunuz ya. Sebastian'ı siktir et, Nati ya.
I'd like to go with Natty.
Excellent choice. Miss Onai is one of our most talented students. And she knows the area. She'll keep you well clear of any of Mr. Rookwood's undesirables.
Sebastian kötü oğlum. Sebastian daha mı önemli?
A rather unsavory local. Best to avoid him and his associates, including his right hand of
Tamam, bundan sonra Sebo'yu seçerim.
Harlow, if you can. Once you've finished Professor Ronan's assignment, your friend will meet you at the castle doors. No time to waste. The sooner you complete your work, the sooner you can enjoy a butterbeer at the Three Broomsticks.